This is a charging station in Chongqing Sanya Bay, where an electric car exploded and caught fire while charging. Chinese electric taxis are impressive. They can even shoot flames from the back. This electric car exploded in a tunnel, causing black smoke everywhere.
Due to the support from long-term subsidies by the Chinese Communist Party, Chinese new energy automotive companies achieved rapid export growth of electric vehicles at low prices. However, the quality and design of these Chinese electric cars have been widely criticized, with incidents of electric car explosions and spontaneous combustion occurring frequently. On January 4, 2024, in Xiamen, a new energy vehicle was involved in an accident, colliding with the roadside greenbelt and subsequently catching fire. From the video, it is evident that after the collision, the fire quickly engulfed the entire vehicle, with fierce flames burning vigorously, creating a towering fire. In August 2022, in Jining, Shandong Province, a suspected Geely Bore electric car spontaneously combusted while driving. Fortunately, the driver, holding a child, managed to escape in time. A water truck passing by promptly extinguished the flames. Everyone, pay attention to this terrifying moment captured in surveillance footage. At 5:30 in the morning, thick smoke suddenly emerged from the electric car on the far right in the video. The next second, it directly exploded into flames. In just a few seconds, the entire electric car was surrounded by flames. At that time, people were still in their sleep, completely unaware of the accident, so the flames spread rapidly. Soon, the second car nearby caught fire, and the flames continued to spread. Subsequently, the third car also caught fire, and as time passed, the fourth car was quickly engulfed by the blaze as well. It was truly dangerous, and this row of what seemed like BYD new energy buses was completely destroyed. On November 11, 2023, on Jinpu Avenue in Zhangpu County, Zhangzhou, Fujian, a new energy electric vehicle parked at the entrance of a shop suddenly caught fire and started burning. Due to a lack of timely fire extinguishing measures, the fire quickly spread throughout the entire building. On October 7, 2023, on the Jingtai Expressway in Huangshan District, a IM Motors electric vehicle self-ignited. The video shows a fierce fire breaking out on the scene, engulfing the entire vehicle, causing severe damage, and leaving only the car frame. According to the driver, he heard a sound similar to firecrackers from the rear while driving, with sparks and smoke emerging from the chassis. The frequent occurrence of spontaneous combustion incidents has always been a persistent problem in China's electric vehicle industry. And to this day, China has not been able to overcome this issue technologically. As a leading force in new energy, BYD had 4 car dealerships catch fire in December 2023 alone. On May 12, 2023, a fire broke out in a BYD car dealership in Jiangmen, Guangdong. On December 13, 2023, a fire occurred in a BYD car dealership in Tiexi District, Shenyang, Liaoning. On December 18th, a fire broke out in a BYD automotive repair shop in Chengdu. On December 30th, a BYD car showroom in Binzhou, Shandong caught fire. The frequent incidents of fires in new energy car dealerships have once again sparked discussions on the safety of new energy vehicles, a topic that has frequently been debated. What is the underlying reason? Some industry insiders point out that since the launch of new energy electric vehicles, they have been plagued with various problems. The frequent fires are caused by problems with the onboard battery system, which in turn result from problems in overall vehicle design and production processes. However, the technical and safety defects of electric cars have been downplayed by the political interest groups of the CCP. In a recent video, a Chinese car mechanic criticized domestic electric cars, saying, "Here I go again criticizing our designers. I really don't understand this issue. I would like to ask, why did they design it this way? Using a hybrid car as an example, the mechanic expressed incomprehension about placing the vehicle battery at the lowest point of the chassis, as this easily leads to battery combustion accidents. He further explained, traditional gasoline cars are well aware of placing the fuel tank and all rear components lower than the front chassis. In other words, if there's a large stone in the front, it will first hit the subframe, and the vehicle will decelerate. If the battery is at the lowest point, is it not frightening? Did the designer intentionally leave such a flaw to make the vehicle be destroyed prematurely? If it hits the battery once, it's game over for the car. Either it catches fire or becomes scrap. Some may say, if it becomes scrap, so be it. We have insurance companies. You really don't understand the situation when a car is scrapped. Don't rely on insurance companies. Don't think insurance companies can fully compensate you. The mechanic warned car owners, you must first avoid hitting this battery, but the manufacturers haven't helped you avoid it. They've left the first line of defense open. If the first line of defense can block it for a moment, we would decelerate to avoid hitting the battery. However, with the battery lower than the subframe, it will smoothly pass the obstacle and collide with the battery. If it were a fuel tank, it would leak or catch fire. Isn't it the same for the battery? Moreover, the battery is much more complex than the fuel tank. It either catches fire or becomes destroyed. Regarding this video, many people commented, as long as it looks good, has many features, and is dazzling, then it sells. It's deliberately designed to make the car break down early, get hit, and spend money to buy a new one. Strictly speaking, this design does not comply with safety standards. Such a car should not be on the market. Some people also left comments saying, I know a manufacturer that produces energy battery connection cords, all made of copper-clad aluminum. If it gets wet, it will turn into powder in 3 to 5 months. So, unless we stop selling gasoline, I won't buy electric vehicles for the rest of my life. Once new energy vehicles catch fire or even explode, the root cause mostly comes from the uncontrolled temperature of the battery. It is reported that there are mainly 4 types of energy vehicle fires. One is severe traffic accidents causing combustion due to collisions. 2 is during vehicle driving or parking, the heat radiated from the ground is absorbed by the battery pack. Inadequate heat dissipation causing uncontrolled heat of the battery and combustion. 3. After being immersed in water, water enters the battery box due to waterproof failure, causing short circuits and self-ignition. And 4. Combustion during the charging process, involving complex control issues in software, hardware, and other control problems, which is also a highly frequent occurrence. Oh my god, so this is a new energy vehicle. You won't know until it burns, and when it burns, it's shocking. After it burns, what else can the experts say? Everyone can see it, isn't it just a bunch of AA batteries? China's emergence as a giant in exporting electric vehicles to the world did not happen overnight. Many years ago, China had already been strategically deploying in the global automotive market on a large scale, with a clear intention to overtake the market. When the CCP authorities found that producing conventional fuel cars could not surpass international automotive giants, they began to support electric cars. In recent years, the policy support for electric vehicles from the government has been comprehensive and has sacrificed the interests of traditional car companies, which pay a large amount of taxes to subsidize electric car companies, while electric car companies are exempt from taxes. Companies like BYD have risen through this unfair competitive environment, coupled with China's own low-cost base becoming a new giant created by the national system. BYD, among others, rose to prominence in this unfair competitive environment and, combined with China's low cost, became a new giant with the help of government policy. Founded in 1995, BYD initially was a battery manufacturer. It ceased production of internal combustion engine cars in 2022 and focused on hybrid and electric vehicles. Recently released data shows that in the fourth quarter of last year, BYD's sales surpassed Tesla for the first time. In addition to providing substantial subsidies, the Chinese government also purchases BYD cars for official use. In order to achieve annual sales, BYD took various actions in 2023, not only launching new cars and new brands, but also increasing promotional efforts in the middle of the year. It is understood that starting from November, BYD's official websites and dealerships have introduced many preferential policies, with the highest discount reaching 20,000 RMB. On December 15th, when BYD Song L was officially launched, the starting price was 30,000 RMB lower than the pre-sale price. Low-priced Chinese electric cars have entered the European market. According to Reuters, the starting price of BYD Dolphin in the UK is $33,000, nearly 30% cheaper than Volkswagen's ID.3. BYD has even more lower-priced models. Earlier in 2022, BYD Seagull was released in China with a surprising price of only about $11,000. As the focus shifts to exports, US and European decision makers are trying to build a local electric vehicle industry, expressing concerns about the potential threat posed by BYD and its Chinese counterparts. Recently, the United States is brewing a comprehensive strike against the Chinese autonomous driving supply chain. This includes the US government discussing the possibility of raising tariffs on Chinese imports, including electric vehicles, in an effort to protect the US clean energy industry and resist competition from inexpensive Chinese goods. President Biden told members of the United Auto Workers on November 17, 2023, that he will not let China dominate the electric vehicle market through unfair trade practices. According to Bloomberg, the tariffs imposed by the United States are already high enough to impede a competition from China. As of October last year, China exported nearly 48,000 electric vehicles to North America and over 564,000 to Western Europe. China is the world's largest supplier of battery components. To cultivate the domestic clean energy industry and reduce dependence on the CCP, President Biden signed a law in 2022 stating that electric vehicles containing Chinese battery materials are not eligible for a $7,500 consumer subsidy. A report by the Financial Times on January 3rd stated that after the new regulations on battery procurement took effect on January 1st, the number of electric vehicle models eligible for the maximum $7,500 subsidy was reduced from 43 to 19, affecting more than just automakers. Yao Yuan, a professor of international studies and director of the political department at St. Thomas University in the US, stated that Chinese electric cars are cheaper because they receive subsidies from the CCP in research and manufacturing, leading to unfair price competition. He emphasized the need to investigate the reasons behind the low cost of Chinese electric vehicles and how to address potential violations of fair market competition. Yuan believes that the core issue is when unfair competition results in the collapse of the basic industries or automotive industries of other countries. That country will have to rely on the CCP in the future for automobiles. He sees this as something any country would avoid. When Chinese electric cars are heavily dumped into the European Union market, European car manufacturers lose the incentive to develop electric cars because excessive competition may significantly impact their future operations or sales. European automakers are increasingly outspoken about the potential threat posed by BYD and its Chinese counterparts. Meanwhile, the European Union is investigating whether the value chain of China's new energy vehicles benefits from illegal subsidies, and whether these subsidies affect market competition, thereby harming the interests of EU manufacturers. With the rapid development of automotive intelligence, the increase in demand for autonomous driving has driven a significant surge in the shipment volume of LiDAR. As a surveying technology, LiDAR can map urban environments and see through critical infrastructure, creating almost lifelike realistic scenes similar to electronic games. With the growth of electric vehicles and autonomous driving needs, LiDAR has quickly become an industry standard, with more and more automakers using LiDAR as the eyes of autonomous vehicles. In 2020, Beijing listed LiDAR as a strategic emerging industry and further increased government investment in the industry. According to China's national security law, all Chinese LiDAR companies must provide all available data they collect. This means that China not only has access to US maps and infrastructure data, but can also access US military system data through the LiDAR embedded in electric vehicles. Currently, Chinese companies' LiDAR technology and products have taken a leading position in the international market. Beijing may use the LiDAR embedded in electric vehicles for large-scale intelligence collection, sparking concern among Western countries. In late November 2023, the U.S. House of Representatives Select Committee on the Strategic Competition with China sent a letter to the U.S. Department of Commerce, demanding a review of all Chinese LiDAR companies and considering placing them on the sanctions list. 20 members of Congress signed a letter in November 2023 from the House Select Committee on the CCP to the Biden administration, urging a review of Chinese LiDAR companies. This move may restrict how U.S. companies invest in foreign automotive technology companies. Experts point out that electric vehicles are essentially computers on wheels, so they can serve as espionage tools. The Biden administration's issuance of relevant electric vehicle subsidy regulations and decoupling from China's electric vehicle supply chain is due to concerns that Chinese electric vehicles could become tools for CCP infiltration into the West.